Hey there, folks. Welcome to day 43 of my year of solo board gaming. We're going to start an Occupational Hazard week. That means that pretty much everything all the solo board games are going to do are going to, in some way, replicate a job that somebody does. For example, Hotel Keeper in the previous game. See how I sync that in together? We've got Coffee Roaster here. Now, Coffee Roaster is a solo-only game. This is not the original version. There's a much nicer, prettier, cartoony version that's absolutely beautiful. This is beautiful as well. It's very highly produced. This is also not one of my favorite games, to be honest. I enjoy it, but it's not something I would gravitate towards, despite the fact that I absolutely love coffee. And in fact, I'm going to just turn around here and grab my coffee because there's no sense playing Coffee Roaster without some coffee to go along with it. So I'm double fisting here. Got some Dunkin' Donuts with me. Not a sponsor of the channel. There are no sponsors of the channel. But we've got ourselves set up here. We're going to do a roast challenge, which basically means that we're going to make 3 coffees total. We're starting off with Panama Bugaba. Bugaba is the type of coffee. Panama is where it's from. There's a little story in the back about it. Like I said, very highly produced. What we're looking to do is get 13 roast points out of this, plus some flavor points for here. We're going to add these to the bag. We're going to have 2 of these little sort of bad beans, as they were. We got 2 water. We have 2 greens, 3 blues, 1 red, some zeros, and some regular beans. And the whole point of this game is to keep drawing out tiles, and you're going to increase their value or do things with the non-number things as much as possible. We're going to go ahead and flip these. These are all little bonuses that you can get during the course of the game. All right, so the 3 is a nice one because it just basically adds 3 points. And you want to try to hit 13. You don't want to go too far over. You don't want to go too far under. You don't want to have too many bad beans at the end of it. Basically, you're trying to fill this coffee cup here. You've got some room over here. Plus, if you have the extra tray pan, you can do 2 extras. But that's how it goes. Now, I am probably going to need the rule book open for some of this because I will be honest, I remember how to play the game, but I am not sure if I remember exactly how to play the game. There are little bonus effects that you get from doing the certain flavors. So, for example, you can take 2 extra things out. You can swap 2. You can throw away a couple. You can also use the 0 and the 1 to get a bonus flavor, which is really helpful. We have 6 flavor tokens in the bag, and we need 3 of them for the flavor points. So you kind of do the math there. We can't spare any reds. We do have 2 blue to spare and 1 green to spare. So that's helpful to remember. But just quickly, we are at 9 here. We can go as far as we want. We just have a limit of 9. We just have a limit to how much we want to press our luck. And there's a little roasting board here too. I'll be honest, I never remember to use it. I never remember to use that little thing. I will try to remember this time around. But let's go ahead and we're going to start here on 9. I believe we increase the temperature. So we start at 9. We don't advance it each on the first phase. But we're going to draw 9 tokens out of here. All right. We have drawn 8, and I can only draw 1 more, so I'm going to throw those back. So I draw 1. All right. So we got 2 blues to start, plus we got the water that gets put off to the side. One of only 2 water here. The rest of these are good. I mean, it's a good basic start to the game. Let's see. What we can do is we can do a little drawing out, and if we play this here, we can draw some out, throw some out, which might not be the worst thing in the world, but I kind of want to wait till we get more of these smoke things in there. There are a total of... Oh, I'm missing a smoke thing. There we go. There are a total of 5 that you'll end up with at some point. Let's go ahead I kind of really want this, except I need a red to do that, and I don't think that that's going to be worth it. If I go here, this is going to be... that means we get to draw 2 and then play 1. The bonus flavor is really nice because that means that we're going to have some freedom on what flavor we go for. I think overall we're going to go for the flavor, extra flavor thing here. And then if we can, we'll go ahead and throw this one back in. We're not gonna spend it. We're gonna keep some extra flavor here. We are gonna use one of our zeros here, and the rest of these now get advanced. So we replace this with a 0, and the rest of these we're gonna replace with 1s. If I'm remembering how to do this correctly. And then these go back over here. Now we can indicate that we've raised the roast value of this by 4. These all go back in. We now raise the temperature. We're going to throw all of these in. Now this time around, because there's a little 2 next to it, we are going to raise the value of everything by 2. But we're also at the beginning of the game, so there's nothing really here that we have to worry too much about. Honestly, if we get some 1s, then we might be in a really good position. But we're going to draw 10 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Counting ahead of myself here, 7, 8. And then 9 and 10. Okay, so now we've got a couple bad ones here that we could put off to the side that we could get rid of. This allows you to get rid of 3. First of all, the water goes over here, so that's first thing. Got the 0s, the 1s. We can play one of our 1s, and now we've got the wild flavor token. Wild card token, so that'll go there. I only have 2 things that I want to get rid of, and so I don't necessarily want to put a blue down for that. I think my best bet is, let's go here so we've got some leeway on that. All right, so these go back into the bag. These all get increased by 2. So like that, and that boosts our roast value up to 14. The rest of these go back. And now we're going to raise this again up to 11. We might actually stop here after this one. I think we can choose to use tokens for effects, decision, cancel, or continue the roasting process. We could potentially just stop here. Depends if we get these 2 bonuses, I think. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8, 9, 10, 11. This is the other one I really wanted to make sure I got rid of. So we're going to have these over here. We'll do the 2 zeros. We'll do that. Then we've got these other ones that we can do things with. We'll go ahead and get the... We'll get the... Oh. Bonus flavor. No. Yeah, we'll get the bonus flavor. Sorry, I'm being so indecisive. So that's going to go there. The rest of these, I don't think we can really do anything with. I could use this to get rid of these 2. That seems like an awful waste. Those are going to go back in. This is going to become a 0. This is going to become a 1, 1, 1. These will become 3s. Now, on the next turn, if I were to keep any of these, if I were to draw any of these 3s, because it goes up by 2, I'd basically be burning a bunch of beans. So I think what I want to do is I actually want to stop here. We raised this by 6, so we're up at 20. And I know that there's some sort of value that you can use to sort of figure out where am I at in terms of flavor value. I really did not get much extra in the way of bonuses. I'm not going to have these to work with. As you're drawing, you can put some beans in here. Let's go ahead and start drawing. So we're going to draw, I believe, one at a time. I'm just going to make sure I'm doing this correctly. So pardon me while I flip over to all right, draw one token out of after the other out of the cloth bag and declare immediately whether you want to put the token into the cup or the cardboard tray. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and put that into the cardboard tray or into the cup. We do have 3 that we can get away with not using. So flavor, that's good. That's really good. Let's see, let's go with this one. That's another 3, so we're up to 6. We don't want this to get too roasted. We don't have too many flavors. We're going to draw 10 of these total. 3, that's 9. That's really high. I'm now really worried. Figures, because I only think I have 3 3s in here. So I've now drawn all the 3s. Yay. 1, that's good. That brings us to 10. Honestly, if I can keep this at 14 or 15, I'll be happy. All right, there's our red. So we've got all our flavor points, so that's a plus. We've also not used any of our spots yet, but there we go. There's our first one. We have got a total of 4 things in here that we do not want to place into our cup. This brings us to exactly 13. So the question is, do I want to keep that there? And I think I do. We've got some wiggle room. Essentially, these have to be flavors at this point. I want to keep it there. Or zeros. I could also go zeros. A 1. I'm going to go ahead and do the 1 there. Got one more spot. I'm okay with it going 1 over to bring me to 14. It's a bit of a bummer. But there we go, green. Had I put the 1 there and drawn 1 more, would I have hit it? Would I have hit it on the spot? The answer is yes. Okay, but, you know, no take-backs. So our first one is going to be the GABA. And so the next thing that we do is we do some scoring here. They give you this nice little handy pad here for the scoring purposes. And you do the roast points, which is basically the total amount of total numeric value of all the things in your cup. So we're going to add this up, and we're going to get 14. And 14, according to the roast points here, translates into 7. So they give you a little scale here, which you can't see because I put it off screen. That's brilliant. Good job there, Foggy. Here we go. So we were looking to hit 13. We didn't hit 13. We got 14 though, so we'll get 7 points for that. Next up, we're going to do flavor points, and I believe for 3 matches. We don't get additional points, but we don't get penalties, fortunately, for losing, for having too much flavor. So because we have this wild card token in there, we're not going to get a penalty for it. But we do have 1 of each. We've got the 3 matches, so that's going to be 6 total. Finally, skill points. You score additional points for 3 more bean tokens with the same roast level in the cup. The more bean tokens with the same roast level, the more skill points you get. So for 4 tokens of the same level, which is what we've got with the 3s, we're going to get 2 points. And then finally, some negatives. You can lose points for each of the burnt beans that are in the cup. You can lose points for smoke. You can lose points for the unhatched beans like that. But fortunately, we didn't lose anything, so we're going to get a 0 there. And then that is going to give us a total of 15. All right, so next game, after your first game, remove all leftover tokens from the board, empty your cloth bag, put the tokens back into the box, yada yada, prepare the board and tokens anew, play smoke and blah blah blah. Okay, so we got 15 or more. which means that we should start with expert on the next level. So that is going to be fun. Let's go ahead and put all these back. The compartment for this is really nice. I love the game storage for this. It's going to go there. It's going to go there. We're going to pull all these down. I'm going to throw these in here. I can actually throw these all up on top of the board here. Let's empty the bag. All right, so that's going to go here. That's going to go here. We're going to throw the rest of these. Let's see, we've got the 2s, the 1s. Bonus flavor goes right back here. 0s go back in. And now we are ready to start anew. And I think, yeah, that's where I want that. Okay. So, according to this, we should start at expert. Let's mix these up here. I'm a little apprehensive about that. So the bonuses are going to be these. Do that upside down. And there we go. The lovely little coffee pack of cards here. So what we want is we want to go with one of the 2s. There are different expert levels. So you got some beginners here. You've got moderate, and then of course we're being told that we have to do expert. So we're going to stick with Panama, I think. We're going to go with Renacimiento. Sorry. You know, if I take times to actually look at how the word is pronounced, I can actually pronounce the word. Little motto there. So this is going to be rough because this has 14 of these unhatched things in it. So that's 4, 6, 8, 9. I think that's all of them. 10, 11, 12, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, that's all of them. We're going to only get 4 of these 4s, 4 of these 0s, I mean. We're going to need 7 water, which is a lot. There's only 8, I think, in here. Yeah, there's 1 more. So that means we're going to start here at the 6. We're going to get a bunch of flavor tokens. Just going to grab as many as I can. 3 red, 4 yellow, 4 green, 5 blue. And I forget exactly what the flavors are supposed to represent. They do have specific meanings. There we go. There we go. All right. And then I don't think we have any negatives, but let's start getting some of this into the bag. So there's our blues, there's our greens, there's our reds. Yeah, we have no burnt beans that we're starting off with, so that's a plus. It's just basically, let's get some moisture out of here. Let's get some beans a-popping, beans a-burning up on the grill. We're going to start off low. So we're going to start off with 6. And we do want to keep careful track of this. The flavor that we're shooting for is going to be 17. And it's a huge, I mean, look at the jump here. I don't know if you can, how well you can see that, but the jump is at 17, which is the target that you're trying to get, you get 15 points. If you are 1 short, you get 5 points. If you are 1 higher, you get 8 points. That's a huge swing right there. All right. So we're going to start off with 6. It's a good way to sort of get some basic cooking. Start off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So these ones obviously we'll just let burn, let cook. So we have 4 greens and 5 blues. We're going to have a lot of extras here, so we do want to try to get as many extras as possible. And I think the first thing that we want to do is we want to get this added tray here. So we're actually just going to go ahead and fill up both of these. so they can get the tray. Then in addition to that, I think we also want to get we want to go for this one right here. What's interesting is we have no reds in our flavor points, so we can't get any reds there. And then for the rest of this, we're going to go ahead and advance these all to zeros, and we're going to put the burnt ones off to the side so we know how many that we've gone through. I don't know what the best term is. They're basically beans that have not roasted at all. Green beans, I guess, would be a good way to put it. So we want to keep track of where we are with that. We're going to go to 7. We'll draw 7 of these. Got some moisture here. We'll also keep track of the moisture. All right, so we got blue, so we'll do that first. We'll go ahead and get this out of the way. Go ahead and get these moistures off here. And these are, put the 0 up here so we have that to work with. And then the green. Now we've used 1 green. We have 3 greens left in the bag, and we need 2 for the flavor profile. So I think I want to hold on to this green for now. We've also got, because we can also use these to do various effects to try to help clean out the bag. Which I know I didn't really do any of last time. I didn't really need to either. So we're going to keep it like that. So this goes back in the bag, and we're going to swap these 2 green beans out for zeros to start the roasting process, and we're now going to go up here. We've not yet adjusted our roast value at all because we've got nothing so far that we've roasted beyond a 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so we have 5 blues total, and we have 3 extras in the bag. We've got a red here that we can use, and the question is, do we want to go for the flavor, the wild card flavor? And I think we do. I think we want to go with the wild card flavor. So we'll use the red here. That's our 3rd red. That's our last red. Get the blue here, and we'll get the wild card in. So that is now out of the way. The moisture goes off to the side. We're left with these, and I don't think we want to do anything else with the rest of these. We've got now 3 greens and 3 blues in the bag, and I think that that's actually a good place to stop adjusting. We'll get 1, 0, and 1, 1 out of this. And I can't use this one here because it has to come out of the bag first. And we'll also go ahead and increase our thing by 1 point. We're now at 9. And I forget how many are in the bag total. But you can sort of do a quick bit of math. We've used 6 here. We've got 3 waters, and we've done 6 green beans, plus we've put aside a 0. So that's 7, 10, 16, and we started with a total of 37. So we're at 21 things in the bag. We're drawing 9. We are probably going to go all the way up to 13. For this, because we need the roast values. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go, that's 9. And we get that, so we can pull this aside, and that goes into the bag. The water gets burned off, so that's an extra 4. That's 4 so far that we've done there. And then these we'll all put to the side. And the green we're not going to do anything with. We're just going to throw that back into the bag. It's going to be kind of a standard thing here. Get 3 1s. I'm only going to adjust this up by 2 because we used 1 to get the wild card flavor, but that should do it. And we're now at 9 of the 14 green beans roasted and started off. Now, however, is things where things start to get into high gear. You have to add some smoke to the bag, and we're going to draw 10 this time, and everything's going to go up by 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10. We'll go ahead and put these back in the bag. We're not going to use those for their abilities. That goes there, and the rest of these are all going to go up by 2. Now, I think, if I remember correctly, these are going to go up to 1s. They go up 2 steps. And the steps are green bean to 0 to 1. You can stop. I see it. I saw it there. So we're going to add a total of 3 here, and we're going to add a total of 8 here. So that's 11 that we're jumping up. So we're all the way up to 14 now. These all go up to the side, and we only have 2 beans left that are still green. Hoorah! Go to 11. Now we're not even remotely close to where we need to be for the 17. If we can avoid doing any 2s, that might actually be really nice, because then we'll avoid burning anything for the next round. Well, that's not going to happen. That's 8, 9, 10, and 11. All right, so let's burn the water first. Smoke is not going to do anything. Could use the blue to swap out two things here. But I think we're not going to do that. I think we are going to go ahead and just let these all cook normally. So some of the abilities allow you to basically keep some beans from cooking this round. So if I wanted to, I could play a blue here, swap these 2 3s out with 2 other things that are in the bag. I could use a blue to pull out 5 beans, put 3 back in the bag, and then 2 into the trash. And I could also use any color to get rid of 3 altogether. And then finally, a red would allow me to just simply draw 2 more beans out. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm simply going to throw all this back in. We're going to increase each of these. I'm going to use these to increase, so there should be 2s here. Should be a 3 here, and 2 4s. This is a total of 8, so we're going to go from 14 to 22. Again, we're trying to hit a 17, and the roasting value up here is just a way for you to understand just where you might be in terms of roast value. And the question is, do I want to continue? I now have 18 have come out of the bag, plus 19, 25, and then I've added 2, so the 23 total have come out of the bag for a total of 14 left. Of those 14, I can get rid of 5, and I need 9 for here. Am I doing the math wrong? I hear what you're saying. I don't think I'm doing the math wrong. Let's go ahead and get started. Now the water, if I remember correctly, when you're actually doing a cup, we're actually going to go ahead and do the cup now. As you're pulling them out, I think the water still gets evaporated. Immediately removed from the game as usual. Okay, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here and see how we do. So we got a green. All right, so we are... I just realized this is like knocking this all over the place. So my bad. That's a green. That's a 4. Again, we want to hit 17. For these next 2, I get to draw 2 and then put 1 back, which is really nice. And I'm just going to double check and make sure that that is the case. Explanation of icons. Draw 2 tokens out of the bag for each of 2 spaces. Select 1, put 1 on a cap. All right, so we have 0, and we'll go ahead and do that. Kind of want to draw a smoke token here so I can, well, no, because 3. So we'll put the 3 out. All right. So we're up to 7 in value. We have got a good portion of our flavor tokens. We'll draw 1 each for each of these. Got another green. We don't need it. I'm going to put it off to the side. Our wild card flavor. We're now done with flavor tokens. I really feel like I must have done the math wrong somewhere, because I don't feel like this is going to work. So that's 9. We need 8 more. Zero we'll put off to the side. Water gets burned off. That is going to go there. We've only got 2 more spots that we can put bad ones in. We're going to have to use that as a 1. We need a 4 and a 3 to hit the 17. It's going to be rough. That 1's going to have to go here. I can't come in that far down. That's a bad bean. We have filled up. That's why I'm going to regret not getting some of these extra things. Blue, don't need it. Don't have any other choice though. We are going to come in way under because I think right now we're at 10. Best we can do is 14. We have really screwed this up. Blue. Wow, we're not even gonna place on the mat. Let's see what else we got in here. So yeah, I was way off in terms of my count. I'm not sure where I was getting 14 from. I really don't. But that's what we were looking at. That's what else was in the bag. So really just misplayed that one horribly. I'm not sure what went wrong there. We're going to put this back in the bag and then do the scoring. The scoring of my really, really bad hand. Renacimiento. I got 0 for flavor points because I didn't even get enough to do that. And then, but flavor points, at least we got all 4, so that's going to be 10. Style matches, nothing. And then bad, fortunately we don't have any bads in there, so that's 0. So we got 10 for flavor. It was kind of the flavor was there, it just wasn't very strong. So the next game, so for 10, you go moderate to the next one. So we eked out a moderate. It's if you got 9 or lower, then you switch down to beginner for the last one. So this last one, we're going to go, I think there's only 2 moderates in here. There's India and Indonesia. We'll go with India Kerala Alpa. Throw that back in the bag. And we'll go ahead and get this restarted again. And I may take a break here in just a moment. Once I break this all down. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and break here, and I'll come back in just a bit. Hey there, sorry for the jump cut. So we are looking at the 3rd round here. We're going to do our level 3 copy. We're going to try for, just so to make sure that we have this sort of set in advance, I think the way that the scoring is done is that you get different ranks based on your overall score. Right now we're at assistant roaster. If we can get to mid-level roaster, I'll consider this a win. If I stay below mid-level roaster and I'm just journeyman, assistant, or apprentice, obviously I'm already better than apprentice, but if it's if I get to mid-level, win, otherwise it's a loss. So we are starting, again, we've already set up the bag here. It's got a total of 38 items in it. It's a lot of zeros. And we're going to have, because we're starting at 6, we're going to have a lot of rounds where we actually do get some roast out of this. The score that we're trying to get for the roast points is 20. And the flavor points include this, which is going to be tricky. So flavor points have to include this, plus 1 red, plus 2 blue. Now there's 4 reds in the bag, and I'll need 1 red here to get this. So that's going to be a bit on the tricky side. So let's see how we do. Let's go ahead and start drawing here. Move that over to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so we've got 1 of each, which is interesting. We've got some water, so we'll burn that off. We'll go ahead and claim this now. We don't need the greens for anything other than simply activating stuff like this. I do want a green for here though. So I think instead of just throwing that in right away, I'm going to grab this with the blue, because we've got 2 extra blues, 3 extra reds to work with, and this is slightly tilted. Sorry about that. The green. Let's go ahead and make sure that we get the extra pan set, because I think we're going to need it. And then that's going to leave just this to go back in, and then this 0, which becomes a 1. And our roast value is at 1. Put that there. And move up to 7. I'm actually doing a better job keeping track of my roast value than I usually do, so yay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so we've got another moisture coming out. We've got a lot more of these. So far we can use 1 more of these and 1 green, and we need to keep 1 red, but we're doing okay on that. I think I'm actually just going to put this here. I'm going to go ahead and get that claimed. Actually, no. We'll roast this one. We'll roast this one up. Kind of feel like this is going to be important to get as well. Like we really need to get the 3 in there to help boost up the value. So if I do one of these, then we need the other 2 blues or the wild card. But I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then that gets us the 3. So we're doing all right, sort of, maybe. I don't know. A little iffy. We'll go ahead and get that, and we got that squared away. Now we can just focus on roasting. We'll get that roasted up, so we're up to a 2. These will all go back in. Let's draw a couple more. We're up to 8 now. There are only 7 green beans in the bag, and we haven't drawn any of them, and there's 7 waters, and we've only drawn 2. So there we go. Starting to get some green beans out now. Okay, so we'll take the 0 and the 1. We'll go ahead and grab this. This gets burned off. This goes back in the bag. The rest of these get bumped up, so we'll get 3 out of here. We'll get 1 for the roast. We used 1 to get the wild card, so this sort of stays the same. We'll set these off here. It's usually a good idea to set your green beans off to the side, so that way you know how many you've actually burned through. We went from having burned none to suddenly having burned 4, or 3, so that's good. We're actually in a good spot, too, because we don't have any 2s in the bag of handling this first double smoker well. The second one's going to be tricky, I think. But I have a feeling we're going to have to go pretty much all the way up. At the very least, we're going to have to get to 12. So that's 10. Okay, so wild card can go back in. Red can go back in. We're not gonna do anything else with the flavors. We want to hold on to all of that as much as we can. And we're gonna get some roasting done here. So green bean goes away. And we're gonna get a total of 7 out of here, so I'll just move this up to 9 now. 2. We'll grab 3 of these ones. And I'll grab these ones. And that will be an upgrade. Now we're going to add the smoke in. We're at 10 out of here. I am kind of curious as to how I messed up the math so badly on the last one. I really, really messed it up badly. Okay, we've got a lot of garbage here. Is that right? That's 10. We're actually going to go ahead and use this red, and we're going to do something that we usually don't do, which is get rid of a whole bunch of crap. We're going to get rid of 2 of those beans. We're going to lose the water out of here. And then the other ones all go up by 2. So these become 3s. This becomes a 2. This becomes a 1. We've added 9 total to bring ourselves up to 18. The ones and the zeros will go back. This goes off to the side. We've got 5 of our green beans now roasted. Now we're going to run into an issue where once we hit that 12, we run the risk of burning some beans. We've not had any burned beans yet, but that's where these come into play. And we've already used our trash, so we can't use that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. All right, so we burn a water. Let's line up the rest of these. So this becomes 0. These all become 1. These become 2. This becomes 4. We're going to add a total of 8. We are now up to 26. We have to get 20, and as we saw before, when I went too early, we barely touched anything. So we're going to have to go with this next one, but we are going to run into the risk of burning some beans because we don't really have a good way to deal with that. We have 2 blue still left in the bag. We have 1 red left in the bag. We need all 3 of those to get our flavor points. And we have 1 wild card left. But we're going to pull 12 out, and some of these are going to get... We're going to end up with some burnt beans, essentially. Yeah, there's a couple already. Oh, actually... Yeah, there's 2 in there. All right. So what I could do is I could use this. It's a horrible use of this, but I could use this to swap out the 4 and the 3 so they don't get burned. And it's not a bad idea. It kind of keeps that safe, and then we're sort of putting ourselves into a good position to just go ahead and roast on this next turn. It does mean that we have to pull the remaining 3 flavor things specifically. We're going to go ahead and do that. And I think the way it goes is that you put them in first and then draw again. I just want to make sure that that's straight. Because obviously... Okay, yeah. So yeah, they go in first, which means we could end up drawing them again. Which means we'll have wasted that flavor token. Try to draw from a different area of the bag. Ah! Damn. Okay, so the 4 is going to get turned into a burn bean. These all go back in. This is going to go back in. Again, we don't want to use any more of our flavors. The rest of these are going to go up by 2 each. So that's 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3. That is a bummer. So we lose 4 because it gets burned. But then we add 12 to bring us up to 34. I think I did that right. And the question is, do we now want to go to 13? 13 is going to be tricky. Let me see if I can do the math on this right. We've added 5 to the bag, so we've added a total of 40. I'm not going to be able to do the math right. I'm going to screw this up. I think at this point we go ahead and we try and see how we do. This is going to be rough. This is honestly going to be rough. I don't even know if we've used up all our beans yet. We've used 6 of the 7. We haven't even used up all our water yet. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start drawing. We're going to have 8 beans total to work with. We got 5 spaces for extras. We need all our flavor tokens. So we've got a 1 here. We'll go ahead and put that down. We get enough garbage in the bag that I don't want to use. I want to keep this set aside for all the smoke tokens and burnt things. Yeah, especially Especially given that we have one burnt one in there, because that burnt one can really be a huge penalty at the end. Okay, well, getting the burned ones out of the way and the smoke out of the way. This is not good. Oh, my lord. That's got to go to the side there, too. This is bad. This is very bad. The rest of these we're just simply going to have to start, putting out. Three. Okay, so we're at 7. We have a bunch of 4s in here. Where are they? We're at 9. That's going to go there. That's the last one that we can do like that. So the rest of these is just a matter of picking out which ones we want to, which ones are going to go in. There's really no choice beyond that. We got 12. We're going to get a penalty here. Water gets burned off. 3 more spots. 15. 18. Well, we'll definitely get a really nice style points one, because that is a lot. That's 6 of the same type. We need a 2 to finish this off. We don't have any of our flavor points, though. That's really a bummer. Yeah, so there we go. We hit 20 exactly, which is nice. So I think we're going to do okay. I think we're actually going to do fine score-wise. So score-wise, the roast points, we hit exactly 20. So we're going to get 12 for that. Flavor, we got the wild card, and that's it. 1. 6 tokens of the same level. Well, actually, we got 5. 5 tokens of the same level. We're going to get 3 points. That is going to be a grand total of 16. You add this all up, you get 41 total. And as I mentioned earlier, in this little booklet, 41, we made it to Chief Roaster. That's a win. I will take that as a win. We actually did much better there than I thought we would. I think a lot of it helped hitting the roast points exactly, but this is how many cards, this is how many we had left. We got none of our 4s up on the board and none of our flavor profiles. We had only one other bad one, and that's frustrating. We had 6 in the bag, and we pulled 5 of them. That's frustrating. But that's the way this game goes, and that has been Coffee Roaster. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please click like, click subscribe, do all the YouTube things. I know that some of these videos can be pretty lengthy, but the more likes, the better. It just sort of helps me sort of build up a little audience here. Thank you so much for those of you who have been sticking with me so far. Thank you, John Ricker, because you've popped up in the comments a number of times, and you are fully Team Foggy, and that is appreciated very much. To everyone else who is watching and following along, comment as much as you can. Feel free to let me know what's on your mind. Doesn't necessarily have to be about board games. What's troubling you? What can I help you with? We're going to go ahead and start putting this back, but I'm going to do that off camera because I decided early on, while I liked doing that, it is a bit tedious, and nobody wants to see tedious. If you want to see tedious, watch some of the Role Player Adventure videos, because those were a bit rough, to say the least. Those go there. That goes there. You know what? I think you are going to end up watching me put these all away. 2, 3, 2. I'm actually curious. I may have made a mistake there with the scoring, because I just realized that I credited myself with 5, even though one of those was the bonus 3 from before. It would not have made a change. This would still be a win. But the thing that I'm curious about... Oh, and I forgot to minus point. I forgot to minus the 1 for that nasty bean there. So this is technically a 5. This is still technically a 40. Let's see. So because I had the 3 up there, I'm not sure if that counts as a 3 token, or if that's just simply a bonus. And whether or not that counts along... Yeah, it works. It works fine. So yeah, 40 was my total. 40 was my actual total. I'm good there. Gotta put these here. I really do like the way that this packs up. I think it is nice and clean. Very easy to understand where everything goes. This will go on top here. These will go here. There's another version of this that has more cartoony graphics, but I actually really like the visuals of it. Go ahead and put this here. And I will say I also really enjoy the backgrounds on each of these cards that give you like a full explanation of the coffee. That is really nice as well. So let's see, 1 beginner there, 3 moderate is going to go here, 2 expert is going to go here. That's it. I'm sure there's probably also more coffees for this available. I would imagine that that's probably the easiest way to do an expansion for Coffee Roaster. Either that or move into tea. And then the empty cloth bag, which, oops, still has 1 in it. 2 more. I missed 2. All right. So 5 out of the 7, not 5 out of the 6, but still, that was pretty bad odds. And folks, that's it. That is Coffee Roaster. I will catch you all later.